being a Christian is a beautiful thing, and people need to understand that. And believing in God is beautiful, and your life will drastically change. Like, I'm changing the way I dress because I used to like show my body more, so now I'm a little bit more modest, I guess I would say, but still want to be like modest and like sexy in the same way. You could really like somebody, and it might not work out because of religion, and that's big. Like,
so you would talk to a dude if like he's like a good dude, but maybe like
wait. Okay. I'm trying to elaborate on what you're asking me. I get. Okay.
So you're like,
basically, you're trying to
like
ask me, will I talk to a dude that doesn't have as much money, like, but he's just doing like a normal like.
But he was solid in everything else.
So. Let me just say this the right way.
Right. But it gotta be honest though.
I'm gonna be honest.
All right.
No.
Have you been a Christian your whole life?
Yes, I've always been a believer.
You're right, because I think I might have seen a photo like of you with like a Bible in your hand as like a little kid. Like.
Actually, yeah, in Jamaica. Yep, it was definitely. I've been in the church since I was younger. I came from a very strict household, a Jamaican household. So you know how that is, like in a Caribbean background, an African background. It's like a more structured upbringing. Yeah. So I kind of was just rebellious. I just wanted to do what Alexis wanted to do. Like, I think that they wanted me to be in the medical field, and I wanted to do what Alexis wanted to do. I wanted to be my own person. So I don't really know what I was running from. I just wanted to be free. I was like a free spirit. I just wanted to be out there.
No, 100%. But I feel you though, because like at the same time, it's like we want the most out of life, right? Mm-hmm. And like especially like when you're young, you want to live life on like to the maximum.
On the edge, yeah.
Right.
If outside was a person, that was me.
Right. And I think that like I think doers find themselves doing that a lot.
Yeah.
Where like you lean into like all of that and you bump your head, but eventually you figure things out.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the old me, if outside was a person, that was definitely me. But even now, me with my journey, like, you know, even last night I went out and had hookah. Right. Like, I just don't drink alcohol, but I could still be in environments and know how to maintain still a Christian life. Like, you know, I don't have to be drunk, passed out. Like, you know, sometimes I'll drink a little bit of wine, but it's just all about having a balance and just doing things the right way. And
that's what I love, because sometimes you can look at like what looking like a Christian looks like, and it can look like I gotta almost like live a life that doesn't have excitement. You know what I mean?
I think the only thing that I really changed is how I'm just changing the way I dress, because I used to like show my body more. So now I'm a little bit more modest, I guess I would say, but still want to be like modest and like sexy in the same way. Well, I guess in a classy way, if that makes sense.
You feel like God kind of told you like, dang.
Yeah, that was the main, that was the main thing, because that was how I made my money on Instagram. I would be like, you know, in bikinis, sexy clothes, tight dresses. So like I really don't wear those type of things. I could wear fitted, nice, classy dresses and still look good, you know.
So then what sparked this change? What made you say, you know what, dang, like, all right, like I gotta...
Well, I mean, it's more so like it was a spiritual alignment within myself, and it's something that I was dealing with internally. Like, I just wasn't happy with myself. Like, you know, nothing was really going right for me, and I just started realizing like, okay, well, maybe it's just the people I'm around. Maybe it's the decisions I'm making. Maybe it's like, you know, so you have to be truthful with yourself. And I think that I was just living this like toxic, fast life, and it was just, I was on a fast pace, and I feel like I crashed. So at that point, you kind of just feel like empty and confused. So I think God was just trying to catch my attention. So he'll like kind of wipe you clean and like he won't make you suffer, but he'll make you like really feel it, like, you know?
Would you say that you dressing different is also like done in a way to kind of like help attract the type of guys you're looking for? Or?
Well, I mean, back then I was attracting like, you know, certain type of guys like that wanted to spend money. That was just me being real, like, that's just what it was. They were like, I guess I was the fun girl. They was the fun guy.
Right.
I mean, now, honestly, I'm not really worried about the type of guys I'm going to attract, because I'm trying to like focus on myself. Like, I mean, whatever God sends to me, or whoever he sends to me, you know, or whoever I'm attracted to, then that's just what it would be. I feel like, because the funny thing you said that is because like even today I was looking through my DMs, like some guys were messaging me like, I hate this new Alexis, like, because they're so used to like being on my page and being able to see me. So I'm like, oh dang, like
just somebody you know, or like?
No, just random people. But I was like scrolling, and it's like, I hate this new Alexis. Can you go back to the old one, please? Like I want to unfollow you so bad. That's then somebody was like, I actually like miss the old Alexis, but I love the new you. Like, you look really mature and grown. So it's good to see that. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm attracting more of a modest, grown, and sexy version of myself, and showing that I can still be beautiful with clothes, and showing the real beauty, and your beauty is not just about your body, And I have both. So it's just like,
No, 100%. No, 1,000%. So then how has, just being that, like, I know that romantic relationship is something that, like, matters to us all. What would you say are, like, some, like, things that God is telling you about, like, that aspect of your life? Like,
for a relationship?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think me and relationships don't really work.
Whoa.
Right now, for the, like.
Oh, right now.
Well, right now, I mean, I'm going to pray for somebody to understand me. I just haven't really found the person that is, like, meeting my requirements. I'm very needy in a relationship, not in a bad way, like, emotionally. I think that's the problem. I require a lot of emotional support when it comes to relationships, and I pour too much into people. So I feel like into men. And
but how's that a problem though?
It's not a problem, but you have to find something that aligns with that same balance, because sometimes you could be overly like, and I have past trauma. So when
you feel like you're not getting, you haven't gotten back what you're giving. Like, it's
exactly,
not
absolutely not in any relationship. And the one that I did, I just wasn't really like into it like that. But
wait, why not? Just out of curiosity.
I don't want to talk about that.
Well, I asked because, like,
no, I don't want to talk about that. But no, like, I haven't had any good luck in relationships. So I think it's like kind of at this point, I just got a relationship. So
you fresh on the breakup right now?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Sorry to hear that.
It's fine.
Who broke up with who? Just out of curiosity.
I broke up I broke up with. Well, we've been broke up with each other. It's kind of one of the things where it wasn't working out anyway, but we were just holding on to something that just whatever. Mm-hmm. But it just I'm just tired of people wasting my time, and I think the journey that I'm on now is like I just want to kind of like date, enjoy my life, and then when God sends me my husband, I know, because I won't have to question the things that I was questioning before in my past situations, or the requirements that I want. They'll already be given to me. Like, I'm just gonna know. But
it just hasn't been it.
It's just not. I don't have the luck, so I'm just gonna stay single right now.
No, I mean, and I feel that too. Like, I think we all had those moments where it's like, dang, I'm about to just like
I just never been single.
Never?
No.
Oh, so you've been relationship. Dang.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've been single maybe like 60 to 30 days, but then I'm like 60 days. But yeah, I think it's time for me to just kind of like be single, and then maybe I'll be able to like really. And you can't go looking; it has to just come to you. But the last situation, I didn't go looking for it; it came to me, and it still didn't work. So I just want to give myself some time to heal, I guess, on the journey that I'm on, just to give myself.
So you're not even accepting applications right now?
I never said that.
Oh, okay. All right.
But just, I don't know. No, I'm just not settling. I think that's the word. I won't settle. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, what you got. It's just like, if you don't fulfill my needs, like in all areas, because like you could have money and this and that, and then you might lack communication, or you might lack this, and then it just might not work because,
You feel like now that you're on this path, you need your dude to kind of like be a Christian too, or?
Yeah, 100%. You don't have to like be in church and stuff. I would love him to come. Like, that would be like something I would try to add into the relationship, but I don't judge anybody. I mean, if he needs, I'm going to just say this. I'm not trying to fix nobody.
Right.
Like, I got to fix myself. So yes, I do want to be with somebody like that believes in God, a man of God, and obviously it's baby steps. So I'm not saying he has to be reading the Bible right away, but those are things I would love for him to grow into, being. So, because nothing happens overnight. But do I want somebody that's going to influence me to like drink and smoke and party? No, I don't think I want to be around that.
Yeah. So then, okay. So because I know you were saying that like you actually are listening to what, like, I think you said like Afro beats and gospel right now, like just
I don't listen
music, right?
Yeah, just Afro beats is really like that's all I listen to is Afro beats and like Maverick City. I listen to like Tasha Cobbs, and then like of course like sometimes I throw a Rod Wave in there.
Right. I mean that's looking kind of gospel a little bit.
Yeah, Rod Wave is like Rod Wave feeds the soul. Like sometimes right. He's not really like talking about guns and crazy stuff. So he's more talking about like heartbreak. So I listen to him, but when I ain't about to throw on like I don't know.
Right.
I can't even say. Like,
yeah.
I don't even know what. I haven't listened to rap music in so long. If I hear it, I might bump my head, but it's not something.
Would you say you're not doing that because it's like a trigger for you a little bit?
No, music doesn't. Music, it feeds the soul for me. For me, it's more so what my ears is. I think what my ears is like wanting to hear. Like when I get in the car, I instantly just play a song that's feeding my energy and is aligning with where I'm trying to go. Like,
so you get mad if somebody else take the aux and just throw on some reckless stuff like. I'll
ride in silence before I play. Yeah, anything that's gonna, mess up my vibration. So.
No, 100%. 100%. No, dang.
But like if I'm in the car, even when I'm in the car with my friends, I'm not gonna just like, oh, let me put on gospel. But we might ride in silence, or I'll find something to talk about, so it's not like But nobody really makes me feel uncomfortable. Like when I'm in the car, like my brother, and my manager, like they don't have a choice. They gotta listen to.
No, yeah. So,
straight up, they're like, you gonna be in my car? You gonna listen to what I listen to? Now if I'm in your car, then whatever.
Then it is what it is.
Yeah.
No, I feel that. So then I know you were talking about how like you've like gone like you've had moments where you've almost like you've been on fire for God, and then you kind of like backtracked a little bit, then you were like back on fire for God. You what do you feel like was like the reason for your like back and forth? Look, that's my story too.
Temptation.
What you mean?
Temptation at its finest.
So what would you say your temptation triggers are then?
I mean, what looked good? I mean, if you want to be real, like
what looked good?
What
so
looked
what
good?
Mean?
Like not. I'm saying like, some things look good. Like I don't know, whatever looked good to me. Like if it was money, if it was a relationship, if it was a car, whatever it was that was driving me to it, to leave from what I was supposed to be doing.
So you got into. So I feel like now you got into the point where things that probably look good, you realize, dang, aren't as.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about it.
What's that saying? Everything that's glitter
isn't gold.
Isn't gold. So I never really understood the meaning to that, but like sometimes you could see like, okay, could be this rich guy and he could be all this, all that, but he's really like a messed up person inside, and he could lead me down the wrong road and have me on drugs or liquor or this or that. Just never know.
Are you somebody who's easily influenced by like your relationships? Like like sometimes
yes.
like who you're with really has an influence on like how you're moving?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when you're like confiding into somebody and you're with them and you're sharing time, space, and energy, like you kind of want to share the same thing that person's doing. Like that person's supposed to like kind of uplift you, and obviously it's supposed to be some type of interest and common denominator with you guys. So if you're doing something, oh, let me go try that, or I want to do this, like
Looking at your situation right now, what would you say you're most focused on?
Well, it's a few things.
What's driving you right now?
My main thing is self-worth, like self-discovery, like finding my I think just walking in my purpose of what God wants me to do, what He's downloading. So right now I'm just taking baby steps because I really don't know. Like I don't know where God's gonna take me. So I think right now I'm just trying to put the puzzle together. Like I know what I want to do. I have like so many great ideas that I'm like, but it's just almost like so much. And like especially on this journey, like a lot of doors are opening and things are coming my way. I'm just trying to figure out like a balance. So I'm just gonna start slow. I have an ebook that I'm about to launch tomorrow.
What's the ebook about?
It's called Soft Life with Her and God. So it's pretty much daily steps on how I keep myself obedient. And like I said, like every day I try to do these things. That's what the purpose of the book. So once you practice something, it becomes like a routine. So pretty much just like waking up. The first thing I do every day though is I used to go on my phone, but now I wake up and I instantly pray. One thing that I don't really do every day is read the Bible, but the method is in there to read the Bible. I listen to worship music every day. So it's like a daily step just to keep your obedience with Him. So even if you don't have time to read the Bible every day, even if it's like once a week, it's in the ebook. It shows you how to color coordinate each scripture. It shows you how to break down the scriptures. It's like a SOAP method, which is scripture, observation, application, and prayer. So I put that in there. It has different scripture in the whole thing. So it's like a whole book on how to get closer to God.
So then what does obedience look like for you?
Honestly, just praying and, just being true to Him. And just trying to, live in the right footsteps of what God wants you to do.
You feel like you struggle with obedience?
I think everybody struggles with obedience.
Right.
I don't think anybody is just like the perfect Christian in this world. Just like everybody wakes up and makes mistakes. Every other day you're gonna make a mistake that is not, of a Christian world. I guess you would say. That's why I said it's important to still. You're human. Like it's okay. God's not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna punish you because you smoked weed today. you know, those are just things that you're battling. So it's like, try to better yourself and know that this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. The more you keep feeding that to yourself, then you can get past it. But you don't, you know. So that's why I said yesterday I went out, like, now I won't go to the strip club. That's something I won't partake in and things like that. But I'll go to little lounges. I'll still be me. And I don't want to be uncomfortable when I'm out. That's another thing. I think lately I just been kind of sitting there, like, being uncomfortable because I feel like people just staring at me like, why am I here?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, why? Like, aren't you on your, you know, because somebody mentioned it to me last night, like, oh, I see you on your spiritual journey. Take a shot. I'm like, no, I don't drink. She's like, oh, yeah, I forgot. So it's like.
But you're still having fun, though.
Yeah, I don't have to. I haven't drunk liquor in so long. I think that I forgot, like, what it's like to be turned up and drunk right now. So I have fun just being sober.
In my opinion, the major difference between your story and everybody else is that you're growing in the public, right? So, like, many people have the opportunity to grow in private, right? Like, everybody makes mistakes in life. Everybody does things wrong. And with you growing in the public, how has that process been for you? Because right now, you technically could have chosen to keep this new spiritual journey that you're on to yourself, but you decided to also bring that to the public. So, like...
Yeah, I mean, I think that just trying to, like, when I identified, like, what my purpose wasn't to be that. And like I said, once you, like, have that alignment with God, he kind of, like, downloaded, okay, like, maybe I need to share this. Maybe I need to show people that there's another side of Alexis that is capable to do the things that people didn't think I would be able to do, you know, or be a part of or be in certain rooms. So I think that that's what pushed me to just be like, okay, I'm just going to be free, set myself free, and just be who I am.
And I do love what you're doing because I think a lot of women see themselves in you or are really aspiring to kind of, like, be someone like you, right? You're in a position that a lot of women want to be in, right? What would you say, like, to, like, a girl who's, like, fighting for, like, clout, fighting for,
it's not
like,
worth it.
To get with a rapper, fighting to, like, live a life similar to, like, what you're living now?
Don't let my lifestyle kind of, like, confuse you because you don't know what it took for me to get there, or you didn't know what I have to go through to get that, or, you know? So it's like, it's really not worth it. I mean, that you can't really stop nobody from doing what they want to do, but if that's what you want to do, just know what comes with that life, and it's not a pretty road.
What comes with it, though? Like, break it down.
I mean, a lot of stuff. Like, it's like selling your soul, kind of, you know?
What you mean?
It's just like you're just doing things you're not supposed to be doing.
Okay, well then let's get to it because you so, like, you've lived this life that everybody's trying to live, right? And you got there and you're like, this ain't everything. What about it was like, yo, this ain't
It's just like a dark place. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of like,
it's not fulfilling.
Yeah, like, you can make money, like, and not be happy. If that makes sense. Like, it doesn't, like, I could make 20, 30,000 and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go buy this new bag tomorrow. Then I'll still be just empty on the inside about something else. Like, why? Because it just wasn't a blessing from that money. That dollar to me was like dirty money. Like, I felt like I was making dirty money. I'm not talking about, like, drug money. I mean, like, the money wasn't blessed. It didn't come from a good place. So I feel like that's why I wasn't able to really enjoy. You know, don't get me wrong, I've been able to have everything I wanted, but nothing good came out of anything that I've really touched, like businesses and opportunity. Like, nothing was really, like, evolving for me.
In the way
it was always like
because it evolved in the ways that girls would want it to evolve.
Yeah, and it looked good because I make it look good. Right. Like, you know, that's just what my job was, to, like, go on Instagram, post this, post that, or if I got a new bag, you know. So now I still want to still live my lifestyle. Like, I still like nice things, but I want to.
It's called posh life.
Yeah, like, I want to just, like, be able to live it the right, you know, clean way. Like, I still want to be able to buy nice things, jewelry, bags, and stuff like that. But I want it to just come from a different, I guess, direction.
What would you say are some, like, misconceptions about you?
People used to call me, like, a hoe.
It's not true.
No.
I mean, I'm not asking. I'm not saying, wait, I thought.
No, like what I mean by that is, like, I guess being a hoe is what because I'm dating, because I keep dating. Like, I'm doing what any normal girl is doing. It's just because my life is in the public eye. It just looks like I'm dating this person, that person, that person. But it's just, if something doesn't work out, I just kept it pushing. Like, I'm just casually dating like you. It's just like, how does that make me that? You know what I'm saying? So I think that was just kind of like a stereotype for me for, like, a long time. So it kind of, you know, oh, she dated this guy, or she did like, or she goes after guys with money, or she's a gold digger, or she's a hoe. Like that's just what I heard for so long, and I just got so tired of it because I'm actually really a lover girl. I love to be in a relationship. I love, and I just like nice things. Yes, I have standards. So if me, having standards make me, I don't want to say the word, but I just hate that word. It's like you could have standards and not settle.
Right. And so then would you say that's something that like has hindered you in the dating market? Like you feel like dudes be like, oh nah, like
Yes, 100%. Definitely. I feel like it definitely, it was just off of like just the people on the internet just trying to bash me. So of course if you see something, you're a guy, would you be like, oh, she's this and that? Your first impression, like we're human, we judge people. Well, even though we shouldn't, that's what we do. So, even like my past situation, that kind of was like something that was an issue as well too. Like people in his ear about me, but he has seen a whole nother side. Like, wait, this can't be that girl. But it's like, you could be easily influenced by what somebody says.
with somebody like you talking about like a guy's friends or something like that.
Friends, their team, whatever it is, like, No,
I mean,
so
yeah.
that's why it's just super important not to judge somebody, because half of the stuff you see on the internet about me, I would say like maybe 30% of it is true, and the other 70% is absolutely like wrong. But I never defend myself in any of the situations because it's like pointless. They're still gonna like.
Is it pointless though? Because like
I mean, it is because it's like they're gonna still say it regardless. Like, what is my little, oh, that wasn't me, or that's not like that. They're gonna be like, oh, she's with this guy, she's doing this, or no, she's sleeping with him. So it's just like they're gonna say something whether you're doing good, whether you're doing bad, whether you're really dating the person, not dating the person. So that's just what the world is about now.
You are like one of the OG like, and I would never say the term, but like IG chicks, right? Like you know what I mean? Like you're not an IG chick. You're Alexis.
But
Alexis
I've been in the
Sky.
game for a long time.
But you really started this. If there's a Hall of Fame or like the starters of this IG stuff, you definitely was one of the OGs. And I guess with that being said, like you're probably taking a lot of like what comes with just like the stereotypes of that.
Of an IG girl.
Yeah.
You can say it. It's fine. Yeah. Like. Yeah. Oh, yeah, she's the Instagram girl. They already know, Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, and I am getting that. But, I mean, now it's totally different for me. I think that there are guys that are reaching out to me that, I would never, not saying I would never expect, because I know I'm a beautiful woman, but it's like now I feel like they're, like, approaching me differently. And it's kind of like I'm just not saying I won't accept it. It's like, okay, well, it's kind of just opening my eyes, like, wow, okay, they weren't trying to talk to me then because, they didn't have respect for certain things I was doing.
So, okay, so like you're saying like this, like you presenting yourself in different ways kind of like it is attracting different people.
Yeah, kind of like what you asked me earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But, yeah, I'm not willing to like accept every person's like,
dudes right now, like every dude on a podcast, right? House on the podcast, you know what I mean? He starts complaining about a lot of the things that like, you may be attached to your brand, although it may not be you, right? Like a dude will complain about like the fact that like, dang, like, these IG chicks or 305s would never talk to me because I'm, only making a certain amount of money, or dang, like.
Mm-hmm. I don't agree.
Right.
I don't agree.
So like, so you would talk to a dude if like he's like a good dude. But maybe like
wait. Okay. I'm trying to elaborate on what you're asking me. I get. Okay. So you're like, basically, you're trying to ask me, will I talk to a dude that doesn't have as much money, like, but he's just doing like a normal like.
Mm-hmm. But he was solid in everything else.
So. Let me just say this the right way.
Right. But it gotta be honest though.
I'm gonna be honest.
All right.
No, because. I don't. It's not about the money for me, like, but I know what I could bring to the table. You get what I'm saying? And I've been in a situation where somebody like lied to me about their life, and I ended up like being like the person taking care of them.
Whoa.
So it's like almost a feeling where like they emptied me. So it's like I don't really, because it could be a good guy that doesn't really have much going on, but. Is like, okay, right now I'm trying to build me up. So there's no way I could try to build you and be trying to build me. Like, I need somebody to help uplift me or meet me halfway at least. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you have to have like 100 million or like, you know what I'm saying? But you got to have some type of stability and something that you could.
But there's nothing wrong with you saying that though, right?
Yeah,
So like,
so
I'm not saying would you get with somebody who can't like be a husband and provide. I'm not saying
yeah,
that.
well, like the moral of the story is I won't be with somebody that's not a provider.
Right.
Like I can't do that. No. Like I can't even afford to do that in my life anymore because, like I said, I've came across people that just used me in different aspects, and I just don't like. Unfortunately, you could be a good guy, but if you had nothing to bring to the table, it's like I'm sorry. Like you could be all nice and sweet, but it's just
No,
it's just to me it's just about having standards, and it's not to be like a gold digger because, like I said, I have my own money, but I have to set my standards to a certain level, or I'm just gonna keep being.
And to be honest, like just so you know my opinion on this, right? Like I do think like that is the perspective a woman should have. Well, it depends, right? Let me tread lightly, but I do think I do think that like it's okay for a girl to want like their dude to be a provider, like and like if you want a family, like there is like certain things that are needed with that, right? Like I think sometimes you hear like girls, maybe throw out like the crazy number or whatever, but like I think even girls who say that, if we're being honest, are just throwing out, like if you ask a dude, what type of girl you want, he's gonna say, I want a 10. But then if you meet a girl that's like in the middle, but everything click, he'll talk to her. So I think like that's probably what you're saying to some degree, right?
Well, yeah, I pretty much, I'm just saying that I won't settle and I have standards and I'm not going, like I said, I've been down that road where I have a good heart. Let's just say that. So I'm not all about the money, like, because clearly I was in a situation and I literally was like the breadwinner and I was taking care of everything. Like you would have thought I was the man in the relationship, and I don't ever want to go through that again because I'm a woman at the end of the day. I feel like we should bring some stuff to the table. But like I said, the guy needs to be helping build me, and me helping build him, he helps build me. That's how it should go.
And what I get from what you're saying is it's not even like just building you as like a financial thing, although that's like
mentally, physically,
everything.
Yeah, everything. Like what I'm saying is, but I'm here. He needs to be like just a little bit higher than me. That way he could kind of help me get up here, and then I can meet him halfway to kind of build. You know what I mean? But I don't need somebody that's like I'm here and then they're here and they're bringing me back down. It's not happening.
No, I feel you 100%.
Yeah.
Fred, you got a question?
Yeah, I do. So, question. What you saying that, right? Is you gotta look at it two different ways. Is a blue collar worker that you're not attracted to?
The what?
A blue collar worker.
What's
so
that?
somebody that's, like he makes $75K a year. He's in love with his job. Like he's
a 9 to 5?
Yeah, 9 to 5 type dude.
Oh, like I've never dated one.
He might actually be somebody that, you feel me, is passionate or cares about you or can invest in you emotionally, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I never dated a 9 to 5, so I wouldn't know. Like I can't say I'm like I wouldn't know because I've never dated a guy that worked a 9 to 5, and I have nothing against it. Like I don't knock no man's hustle at the end of the day, but even if he's working a 9 to 5, he still needs to be able to provide my requirements of what I want.
So what would you say your requirements of what you want is?
I mean, like it's like I can really sit here and talk for hours about it, but it's like I know that what I have, and I know what I bring, and I know that there's certain.
So is it a lifestyle you're trying to live?
No, it has nothing to do with that because I can go whatever I ask for, I can buy it twice.
Right.
So it's not about that. It's more so like I'm looking to be a wife. Like I want kids, I want a provider, I want somebody to take care of like the bills. Like there's things that women I feel like shouldn't be doing. I feel like we should be contributing to certain things. Like, okay, if we're in a household, okay, I might go get groceries or whatever, might pay a light bill, but I feel like a man should overall be taking care of home. Like, I shouldn't be paying my rent if I'm with you.
Right. So, no, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
If he's a 9 to 5 guy and he's able to...
A blue-collar can't afford that?
Huh?
A blue-collar worker can afford that?
I don't know.
So are you open to it is what I'm asking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I just never dated a guy that... because like I said...
So you're traditional?
Yeah,
Okay.
I never dated like my, I'm in my journey right now, but back then I, was attracting, I guess, what I was putting out as well. So it just was a little different. It was like a different type of. So now I don't know. Who knows? I might end up being with a corporate man. That's a lawyer, doctor. Who knows? That works. He could work. Doctors work a 9 to 5.
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
Okay, and I might marry a doctor. But he's going to provide. He just has
So you're looking for a provider?
Yes,
okay,
100%. That's definitely in my requirements. A provider for sure, a man of God. I just don't want somebody that I have to build. I am so like emotionally drained that I cannot. I don't have a bone in my body to build a man anymore.
So let me ask this: so the guy that happened, you had to provide for him. Was he
my last situation?
Oh, I wouldn't know nothing about your last situation. I'm saying,
you mean
the blue
like
collar guy, the guy that you say you was taking care of.
Oh, yo, he was a fraud. Like that was fraudiana. Like.
Dang. Did you notice prior?
No, I was lied to from the beginning, from the LLCs to everything. It was all fraud, and it just, it's a very sensitive topic for me. But
I get it.
If it was told me he, and I was paying the rent, I was the trick at this point.
Dang, how'd he get away with it though? Like I'm just, like.
I mean, because I want to love. Like I said, like there's two sides of me. It's like when you at that loving side of me, it's like I'll do whatever for you, but you gotta pour into me as much as I'm pouring into you. That's why I said I've never dated a 9-to-5, but I think like with my journey, I might start attracting a different, type of man, because my taste in men is not even the same no more.
What is your taste in men now? They're just
like I don't want to deal with no drug dealer or a street nigga. Like I'm past that. Like I want somebody that's like I don't mind dating a corporate person. Like like I said, they just need to have my requirements.
You hear like dudes saying, "Oh, so then you wouldn't take a dude who's making 95,000, or you wouldn't take a dude who's making 100,000."
Because that dude could have 95,000, and it could triple, and like you never know. You don't sleep with nobody, but he got
So,
at least
you're saying you would exactly?
Yeah, he has to just have a plan, and he needs to. Even if you are making that, you still need to provide. Exactly. Find a way, figure it out. Find a way. Meet me halfway.
Exactly, and that's why the conversations get on my nerves, because it's like everybody just dudes are just complaining, but it's like. If you were a girl, you would want the same things.
Yes, like 100%. And like 9 out of 10 times, it's like you could go be with these people that's living this like fast, crazy life, street dudes. But like when you want to be a wife, like you really have to like really pick and choose and like the type of man that you're dating. Like because does this man meet my requirements to be my husband? Is he gonna be coming home every night? Like you gotta think.
So, quick question. Yeah. Initially they had the city girl wave, right?
Yes.
So do you think that detracted a lot of women from having that mindset of like, I want to meet a husband, I want to meet a guy that's for me?
Well, I was never a city girl, so I don't know. Okay. Like, I mean,
I'm not saying like a city girl.
No, not like that. I'm saying
like
I guess what they're rapping about, but because
I need a nigga for this, that, and the fourth.
Because I was already living it, so I was like, yeah, I was already living it, so I don't know. I guess you're right, because you're so caught up in the. Flying me out, buy me this, I want this new watch, I want that. Yeah, it becomes With
that being said, do you feel like you were looking for, at that point you were looking for love, you were looking for like a husband at that point? When
I was looking for husband, love, money, and everything, all in one. Like, to be honest, because for me, I always want, like, love is something that I could never, like, fake. You know what I'm saying? It's something I always wanted. Like, I'm a lover girl. But I think in the midst of it, I was battling like, okay, well, even though I love you, I still want you to buy me this and get me that and do this and do that and do that. But that was my mindset before, So now I think that my mindset changed. I'm just more looking for like a provider. Of course, I'm a woman. I want to be catered to in a certain way because I cater back. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm pouring into you, I want back. Like I want to be spoiled. I spoil back. Like I don't want to. It's not a one-way street with me. Like you just gotta buy me everything, pour into me, and then you just there, and I'm using you. But I expect flowers. My love languages are gifts. Like it could be like little things, like trips, vacations, quality time. Like those are my love languages. So it's like do the same that I'll get back to you.
You know what? So like a lot of people, right, would look at your situation and be like, okay, like she's getting older, and that's why she's doing all these things. Would you say that's like? Why, like, would you say that has something to do with it? Like, they say like girls got the biological clock, and it's like, oh, like, after a while, like you gotta start gathering together. Would you say that is part of like the reason why you're taking things more serious? I don't get that. But
absolutely not. I've been in this game for 10 years. Like you said, I've been like an OG. So for me, it's like I'm still getting booked. I'm still, like I was still getting booked. I'm still Alexis. Like if I posted a video, it's still gonna go viral. I feel like there's a new girl that would turn 18 every day, but I think I was just so comfortable in my skin and I knew my confidence, but it had nothing to do with that. It was more of a spiritual awakening, and I'm 28 now, but I do want to be married by 30. So yes, it is time. This is the time to answer the question, like yes and no. Like as far as like me in fear of the world, like, oh no, like I'm getting older, I need to stop. But no, for myself, I'm 28. I feel like I'm at that age where it's like, I have a daughter now. I want to be married. I want to have more kids. I want a solid foundation, because your 20s are supposed to be the time you mess up. And your 30s is when you're supposed to build your solid core foundation. And then in your 40s, you're supposed to enjoy life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your 40s and 50s, you're supposed to be taking vacations with your husband, owning properties, investments. And so I think now is the time for me to, between 28, I'm about to be 29 in July. So that means I have a year to figure out with my husband and a solid foundation.
So you are feeling a little bit of like, you are knowing like, okay, it's time to kind of like zip this thing together a little bit too.
Absolutely, it is. It's time. But I'm going to take this year to just, build me. And then that extra year will be the time God sends me my husband.
Right, but you know what? I guess why I was also asking that too is because like you see this also happening with a lot of people. Like you got Blac Chyna right now, kind of like rediscovering herself in a way. And I guess I'm just like, I'm wondering if this is like age related, or if it's also, or if it's something that just like the culture is feeling just in general. Like, are people just tired of? Are people just realizing like, yo, this, this lifestyle that you think, might be worth fighting for, just isn't.
I think her journey is beautiful. I feel like everybody's just going through a different journey differently.
Course,
like
yeah.
hers is more so like within herself, I'm noticing, because she's taking like her plastic surgery out.
Right.
She's doing stuff to make herself feel like who Angela was. Like that's her real name. So she's trying to get back into herself. I think my spiritual journey was more so just, it is within myself as well, but it was just more so my career, my life, like the decisions I was making. So I think we're on different paths, but it's all still a spiritual journey. So I don't think it had nothing to do with her age. I think that she just went, through so much in the media, and so did I. But that's her way of healing, and then I have my way of healing, So mine is, just getting closer to God and just on a spiritual wave, and hers is more taking out her lip fillers, her body stuff, and getting back to that original form of what God created for her.
Right. And
what's good, y'all? Before we get back to the show, I want to help you get your skin right. So my whole life, I struggled with acne. I was able to figure out a way to get the pimples to go down, but in doing that, the products that I used to get the pimples to go down actually ended up drying my skin. Whenever I would find a face moisturizer to use to moisturize my skin, it would moisturize my skin, but my skin would break out from the moisturizer. Eventually, I was able to find a moisturizer that was able to moisturize my skin and not break me out. And that's by the brand Agrestal. So personally, I use their Rose Hydrating Oil, but they got a bunch of different products. I think what makes it work is the fact that there's all like natural ingredients in it. So there's no like harsh chemicals. I think all the ingredients are plant-based and unprocessed. But they have everything though. They got face wash, face masks, face rollers, all these different things. And right now they're actually running a sale. If you want to check them out, if you use the code SUMMER20, you can actually get 20% off. But yeah, thank me later.
And something that I think is interesting is, would you say like you know who you are? Like if like the God version of you, like would you say like you know who that is?
Yeah. I'm still finding myself.
Of course.
But for the most part, I know my purpose, my calling is not confusing to me no more. I know what it is that God downloaded for me to do. Yes, it's like my purpose is to help other women. And I'm trying to still figure out in which way. So I don't know if it's like, with these conferences or like these spiritual retreats, but I noticed that I have like healing hands. Like, so pretty much like anybody that like I'm, with or I'm around, like they just gravitate to me and off of my pain. And we kind of like,
figure it out together.
They're comfortable talking to me. No matter, it doesn't matter if I've been trafficked or this or that. We all have past traumas as women, and it all stems from something. So I think like the most important thing is therapy, being able to communicate and release. Like once you release that pain, I've held on for so many years, so many things I was battling with. And so when I like just set myself free and started talking about it, actually it doesn't bother me no more. Like the trafficking doesn't bother me no more, I think. So that's one part that I'm healed from. Like certain things just don't bother me. I think right now the only thing that's really affected me, I think, is like relationships. So I think like men. It all does stem down to men, but I think men is what now. That's the next part of my healing journey, is like taking the men out the equation.
Taking it out the equation to
get
it right.
Yeah, in order for me to like, be, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. Like I said, I'm emotional. Like I have a lot of traumas with me, so I think that when I'm dating, like when men trigger them, it kind of like affects, the relationship. And I think it's going to take a strong man to really deal with me, because you have to be able to accept my past, my present, and my future. And like, if you're going to be with me, my past shouldn't matter. I don't want to speak about it. Like, let's start here.
And that's a Christian perspective, right? Like forgiveness to some degree.
Exactly.
Would you say like in life you've been able to forgive those that like have wronged you?
I'm working on that.
Right, that's real.
No,
though.
I actually just told my manager yesterday that as part of my journey, I think that in order for me to be like fully pure, I need to forgive the ones that hurt me, because forgiveness is in the Bible. And so that's the next step. I will be forgiving some people. So, yeah. And I do forgive the guys that hurt me, and,
What would you say like is like like getting in the way of the forgiveness? Is it just like remembering what they did?
the
Is
pain,
it like just still
the trauma,
Yeah.
the pain, the trauma. Words are something you can't forget. You could forgive, but sometimes you don't forget that. Like somebody could say the most meanest thing, and you'll never forget what that person said to you, and it'd be the closest person to you, or the person that you thought you loved, or, And so yeah, the trauma that comes with it.
I feel like this stage of your life is you feel like it's feeding you more, like just like
Yeah, I see everything clear.
So you were saying like maybe like when you were running at different other different things, like you had that empty feeling. Do you still have that feeling to some degree?
No, I'm not empty at all. I'm actually full. I have God's presence with me. I'm full. Like, it's confusing for me every day. I'd be like, my emotions be up and down. Like, I'd be like, I need to make money. I need to do this. Because, like, I kind of gave up everything. So it's like I'm just trying to figure it out. I think that's more what it is, trying to figure out what it is. How am I going to survive, like, with this new journey? Like, but it's just about being patient and obedient. So I know, like, the reward in the end is going to be mind-blowing for me, because it's like I'm not going back to what I gave up. And so you just got to, be obedient and stay down.
For somebody who like doesn't truly understand why, right? Like if you were talking to your daughter, right, and she said, "Hey, like, why should I believe in God?" What would you say? Like, why?
Because God is the best thing that ever happened to me. And, I mean, you can't do nothing in this world without God. We're not stronger than Him. We're not greater than Him. Like, God is the strongest person in this world. And all things are done through Christ. I'm saying, like, when God isn't with her, you should not fail, or she should not fail. So anything that you touch and you do, when you keep God first, He'll bless anything that you have going on. The actual beauty of this situation of like my journey is I haven't really seen anything negative about me. And I see more positive lately more than anything. And I'm sure there's people that's talking behind closed doors, but let them talk, because I got your attention. And if I got your attention about speaking to God, then that's one more person closer that can get closer to Him. So, as long as I can make an impact and use my influence to spread the word, like, I'm not asking people to be like, like holy and, all Christian and stuff, but it's like being a Christian is a beautiful thing, and people need to understand that. And believing in God is beautiful, and your life will drastically change. Like, you'll start seeing everything just becomes a clear cloud. Like, it was like a dark cloud. Everything's clear. Like, life feels good. You wake up with a different energy, a different mindset. You start becoming a different person. Like, you start treating people differently. You start just, it's a battle. It's going to be ups and downs. You're going to go through moods. You're going to, but the beauty of it is serving Him.
Right. And then when you say you don't see nothing negative, you're talking about like comments or?
I don't read the comments, but I'm saying.
As you shouldn't. That's why
I don't really read. I'm saying, like, I don't really hear people saying negative things, like, from my pod. Like, I've done previous podcasts.
Yeah.
I would read, like, the comments there, but I haven't really seen anything. Or if I'm posting something, I'm getting a lot of women that are supporting, even men that are supporting. So I love the support that I'm happy, because even the messages that I'm getting is, a lot of people are saying that I'm helping them get on their journey, and I'm helping them get closer to God, and they've always believed in God, but the fact that I was able to talk about it,
I'm telling you,
it helped them, like, reconnect. That, I was able to share my Bible link with girls. They're tagging me in Bibles and books that they just purchased because I posted it. So now I'm making a positive impact in the Christian community, and
you're just getting started.
Yeah.
No,
not even the Christian community, the whole world.
Right.
Out of but. I'm just trying to build a strong foundation.
I love it. No, I love it. Yo, Fred just got one last question.
Yep.
We're closing out.
I think Josh has spoken on the fact that if you were looking for a man that believed in God.
Right.
So God can be in different religions. So what if he was Muslim or he was Hindu or whatever the situation is? Like, they have a God. Does he have to align with you? Does he have to be equally yoked with you when it comes to Christianity and God's vision, or how does it have to go?
Yeah, I prefer. I'm all for all religions, but I think it would be kind of hard for me to kind of like, with Muslims. Like, I love the Muslim religion. The only thing I don't agree with is having multiple wives, and that's not something I want to submit to. Like, that's not something I'm okay with. So, I love the religion, but that part. So I feel like it would be kind of hard for me to date somebody that is Muslim. Any other beliefs I really don't know too much about, so I really wouldn't know how to really answer that part. But for the most part, somebody that's just Christian, it would make it easier because we could just go to church together. We could read the same Bible, But I have nothing against it. And, like, because I was open to dating somebody that was Muslim because in, like, the African community, some Africans are Muslim, some I've been around Dubai, but I just kind of, I don't think I can handle it.
Nah, I understand.
Yeah. Are you Muslim?
No, I'm not. I'm Christian.
Okay.
My
good.
dad is a pastor.
Okay. So, no, I'm just saying because, I was dating an African guy. He was Muslim and, it just didn't work with me. And some, not for nothing, like I said, it was a thought before, like, oh, I want to convert to Muslim, but I feel like there's certain beliefs I wouldn't, like, what I'm saying? It just has to align with what I truly believe. You have to be true to yourself, too. It's like, just because you could really like somebody and it might not work out because of religion, and that's big. Like, people don't really think about that.
But
like,
I think that's a big reason for it to not work out. A man is a leader, right? And if he's not a Christian, where is he leading you to? He's leading you to his own personal life perspective, and that's a limited one. You know what I mean? So it's like,
but we all praying to a God. I just think, like I said, with the Muslim situation, I was saying, like, I really liked this person, but it was like, I had, like, whatever their beliefs were their beliefs, my beliefs, but it was kind of hard because they were praying a certain amount of time out the day. I was kind of like praying once a day. It just was different, like, it just was different. And I'm just like, okay. And then, like, the whole, like, multiple wives thing really got to me because I know that I'm destined to be somebody's wife, not somebody's, like, first wife, second wife. So that's the only thing. And then, like, as far as you said Hinduism, I don't know.
I mean, I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't really know about any other religion. So I just know about, like, Christianity and Muslim are, like, the two religions that I really know about. But for the most part, dating a Christian will align better with me.
Of course. No.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that goes for anybody. Like, I think when you're dating, always ask the person what their beliefs are before you, like, get into a situation. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, Dan, I think we touched on everything.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.